the journey that never ends. Some say that I'm foolish, some say that I'm bold, to brave the dark forests, wild beasts and the cold. But I choose to roam in ruins of old and sing of their stories untold. Long have I traveled across these lands. Long is the journey that never ends. My journey shall never end. I live the life of the mercenary. I live by blade and shield alone. I do not settle, love nor marry, lest I leave a widow alone. I trek across the land, seeking the jobs for helping hands. If any need a battle to be won, and when I'm given one, I don't rest until it's done. Oh, me, my sword, and my mercenary band. We live the life of the mercenary. Restitution is our creed. We seek the thrill, gold and glory. It's the only life we need. We trek across the land, seeking the jobs for helping hands. If any need a battle to be won, when we're given one, we don't rest until it's done. Oh, be my sword and my mercenary band.
Okay, welcome back to Campaign 1, episode something, 15 I think.
15.
Yeah, something like that. Last we left off, you guys had gone to the town that's out on the crossroads. You had stayed the night in a tavern, but had been rudely interrupted by the machinations of a hag that was drawing villagers and townsfolk, rather, out and to her lair. You found her, swiftly dispatched with whatever things she had going on, and returned back to the town. And last we left off, you were all just milling about, enjoying yourselves. So what would you like to do whilst you're still in this town, would be my question. And you can take it away.
I look at the group and I say, well, the sun came up. I'm a little hurt, so maybe we leave tomorrow. But we could spend today shopping and buying supplies and restocking before we head another 7 days to the next town or so.
Yeah, absolutely.
Works for me.
So this is a pretty small town, right?
It is, yes.
Would they have a sort of like a general store where we could pick up some potions?
Yeah, they have a modest-looking, pokey corner shop that you can go have a look at.
Cool, cool. would like to purchase a potion of greater healing.
You can do that, absolutely.
Do they have anything of interest there? Do they have gear or capes or anything that would catch my mind?
Make a investigation as you're moving around. There's a crotchety old man who's just sat there reading the same page.
That is a 16.
As far as you can tell, they don't have a lot of things that you would be able to find in places like Taz's Rayla. This is more of a by the by. Travelers can stock up, resupply, and move on from there. There is one thing. There's a small cloak off in one side. That does catch your eye.
I would like to inquire what kind of cape it is.
It is a cloak of protection.
I would like to buy that. What does it cost me? What does it set me back?
That is an excellent question. It is uncommon, so it costs. He has it on sale for 174 gold.
All right, I'll take it.
I rolled very low there. He's not good at negotiating.
Perfect.
Anyone else?
Does he have any weapons?
There are like a couple of very simple long swords, maces, things like that. It doesn't look like they have anything above what you'd normally find in terms of adventuring gear. So nothing enchanted, nothing with any extra quality or craftsmanship. It's all straight of the road. But if you wanted to get something, you could probably buy yourself one.
I'll look and just ask him. So, what's the best hammer you have here?
Sort of reaches down and brings out this mallet that looks like it's made for working tools or setting up a tent. It's dented and a small iron cap on the end, and offers it to you.
How much will this be?
1 silver. It's a hammer.
I'll take it. It'll be good to throw at someone.
Does he have like all the materials? Does the general store have like go through the list of like animal feed, food rations for us, etc., etc.? Cool. I'm guessing standard price in the adventurers book handbook. Price handbook,
It will be
because like 10 days worth of feed is, hold on, 10 gold pieces. Is that weight or gold? Yeah, 10 gold pieces. Or no, that's quantity. Sorry, gold pieces. Feed per day. It's 5 silver per day.
Let me have a look.
Gold per day, according to the book.
Rations here are.
Rations are different than
Yeah, they're all the
feed.
same. It's all the same prices.
Cool. Yeah, I just want to restock the wagon with like food and blankets and a ladder and other dumb shit that I bought. Anything that we would have consumed, I want to restock it.
A ladder. What has Geo been eating?
What
Ladders,
hasn't
clearly.
Geo been eating?
I was about to say,
That is
I
the
like
better
go
question.
through and I see like what did Geo eat during the week I was asleep in my shell, and I just restock. There's some ball bearings missing. Like, also, does he have a pearl that in his shop, or is there like a jeweler in this town?
You can make an investigation check and have a look around the town.
Yeah.
That's a good point. You need to think about that.
I got a 5 plus 0. I got a 5.
The way that this town is built, because it's a lot of tourism and things like that, it's not very intuitively or logically set out. And you can't seem to find a jeweler's.
All good. The other thing I'm looking for is to update my map just to make sure that we are traveling the right way. And now that we are moving closer and closer to the border of Obscura, I want to make sure that like my map matches with their local map.
Yeah, I mean, how would you go about making that happen?
A couple of things I want to talk to the innkeeper or like the militia about like, hey, is there a map keeper in here? Is there a library? Is there something to? Because we did also save that lady's husband, who is a militia member. So I want to knock on their door and I want to talk to him and be like, hey, local militiaman, is there a map somewhere in this town? We're traveling and I want to make sure we're headed the right way. And I also want to try and like learn to make sure we're going the right way.
Okay,
So
you
I
can
want
very
to start by
easily you
using
can
local
very easily
resources.
find the captain of the guard. He's a little bit more elderly compared to some of the others. Maybe a little bit more experienced. His armor's quite dull and dented. Looks very unimpressed as you guys approach.
Hello, I'm Bellini. We're traveling through. We did kill the hag that was haunting your village and kidnapping people. We also brought everyone who is unconscious or dead back so you can bury them.
Yeah, what do you
They're
want?
not just in a hole. Yeah, I'm okay, so this is my map and I hold up my map.
Mhm.
And I guessing and I point to where I think we are and I was like, we're here, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Do you have a map? I want to make sure my map matches. I don't want to get lost. I'm a city turtle, and this is new for me.
Yeah, he sort of reaches back and there's a couple of sifts through some documents, pulls out a very similar looking piece of parchment. There are some small changes. This view's a little bit more zoomed in, if you can imagine it. And then so some parts that you have is more of a regional map. Doesn't take into account for like terrain or specific changes in parts of the roads or things like that. So, for example, on your map, the tear-stained wetlands is like a central blob-esque, and on his, it seems to start there, and then there are like dots, points that sprawl out, and some parts touch parts of the road, and other parts touch the mountains and things like that. So his is a little bit more detailed, but from what you can see, that is the right road you take to go to Obscura.
Can I? We have all day. Can I be like, listen? Can I make a copy of this, and you can keep the original, but like this is way more detailed than my map. Or is there somebody here that can make me a copy of it today? We're hanging out. We're probably gonna leave tomorrow. I need a nap. I'm bleeding, and I just like point at my stab wound from where I got attacked by the hag, and it's like, yeah,
Yeah. I mean, as long as we get the old one back, sure.
cool. I then sit in wherever he is, and just F just like sits on my head. I give F his own coloring book, and he scribbles next to me while I draw this map.
Mm-hmm.
It just sits on the table, and then I prattle at this captain of the guard about skee ball and the big city and the hag we killed. And then I also offer him tea, and I put my teapot and my variety of teas, and I put my flaming hand under the teapot, and it boils the water, and I offer him tea.
Yeah, there's a lot of enthusiastic yeah, at first, and then after a while you can see he's like sat with one hand on his temple as he's trying to fill out some paperwork that probably isn't that important. And as the hours grow by, you can slowly see him getting more and more irate with Bellini.
And then I finish the map and I go, thank you. And F hands him the picture he drew of him looking more and more irate as I draw on the map. And it is very well detailed.
Make me a performance check, and I will tell you how well you have done.
And that's a nat 20.
Whew. You
Plus
will
one.
be able
21.
to navigate safely to the, well, not safely, but navigate to the border in the most logical and fast way that you can think of. And if should you find any obstacles, very much easy to find an alternative path.
Nice. Can I roll for S performance check to see how well he drew that old man?
If you want, yeah, go for it.
Yeah. I don't know if I want it to be really good or really bad, but either way, it will be exciting.
Rolls a 10.
F rolled a nat one.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's like a stick figure drawing made in charcoal. Some parts of the pages are singed. He's also drawn you, but you can't tell which one's which. But he's made an effort.
Yeah. And F just looks up at him with his button eyes, and it's just like, I did a good job. I worked
Nice.
so hard at this, like a very small child. And that's how we spend our day.
Cool. Anyone else?
I would have either ate, slept, or
Slept
hung
while
out
you
with
ate?
the guards. Yeah.
Okay. You're very easy to do that, and then you turn in for the night, getting some well-earned rest. It hits all of you heavy, very heavy. And you wake up the next morning. There are parts of Larea that expected another vision. But it seems like you're safe for now. And
For now.
you wake up in the morning, everyone's gathered downstairs. Gio's probably already eaten them out of house and home. And there's a stable boy getting your various steeds and cart ready. And if you want, you can keep going on your way.
Yeah. Let's go.
Yeah.
Into Obscurium, or at least the road to its gates.
And now we long rest. And
Now you long rest. Spooky music. The next couple of days passed relatively simple. You notice that a lot of the sky turns a lot more grey and clouded. There's a collection of them that seem to linger on the mountains that you often see towards the west. And slowly that dreary weather becomes apparent as, once again, days of persistent rain begin to batter you all as you're moving along, often using the cart as some form of shelter or the nearest tree or cave, quite expertly found by one of you. And as you're moving along the road, there is a slowly dragging momentum after a while, and you notice that the cart seems to move a little bit slower. There's mud all across the path that Bellini is taking you on.
Geo is happy as he's ever been. He's just playing and skipping in the mud as we trot along.
After a while, it does become apparent that the days of rain have swollen the wetlands beyond their normal banks, turning a already somewhat treacherous pathway into a choking mire of knee-deep mud and shifting ground. And the only person amongst you who seems to be able to move freely in that is Geo. Can someone make a survival check, please?
Yeah, I have a +5. I don't know if anybody's any better.
No, mine's +2.
That's an 18 + 5, 23.
Nice.
Bellini, you quickly realize that the way the horses are moving and the fact that only Geo can walk relatively comfortably through this, mainly because he doesn't care about the mud. It will exhaust your mounts, possibly yourself, and it slowed your progress to almost a standstill. However, thanks to your natural 20, you do know that there is a couple of other roads you can take. One veers in towards the marshland, one veers away from it. And you can see a faint set of wagon tracks on either one, barely visible beneath the mud. Ku, can you make a history check for me?
Can do. Uh, 7.
You know that both of those roads do actually lead to different towns. That's all you can remember from way back in your bureaucracy days of receiving various different papers along this region, but a lot, like you know, a lot of that information was meddled with or obscured. But you do all have a decision to make, to either push forward as you are, maybe suffering some exhaustion, or choose one of the paths, and whatever might lie in wait beyond them.
I'd say we travel the path with the tracks on it. That means there's people, that might mean there's shelter. Maybe a tavern or something, a roadside tavern. I think that is probably the most viable option. What do you think?
Yeah, I think we know the dragon is in the Marshmoor. I know it might be out of our way, but I'd rather avoid fighting a dragon and going in towards the mountain moor and then have to cut back over.
Okay.
I'd rather deal with that than fight a dragon for sure.
As you guys are
Don't ask
pondering
me, I want
over,
to play in the mud.
as you guys are pondering over which route to take, Geo, you notice that the cart's wheels are now thickly, slowly sinking, and at least some of the horses have stopped bucking because they can't move as well.
I get
You will
behind
need
and start
to-
pushing.
To help them, so make a strength check for me.
18.
Okay. You do seem some of them, some parts of the cart is lifted as Geo takes some of the weight off. The horses will also need some attending to. So if someone wants to make an animal handling, they can.
I can attempt that, yeah. Uh, 14 plus 3, 17.
They seem very reluctant to be moved by someone else, but you learnt some things from your cousin Johnny, who really liked horses and spent some time outside the city. Part of the reason why you looked into being a druid, maybe. You can coax them towards the path. They are still reluctant to move down there, but the cart does begin to move off once more.
Cool.
You know that this leads down perhaps to shelter and some resources, and as you're moving along, there's a signpost that you cross that says Thrin's Hollow. Probably one of the towns that Ku had absent-mindedly mentioned.
Perfect.
And after a while, the land begins to sink a little bit beneath the water, and you can see wooden planks have been placed, almost like a bridge that sits on the ground, to make sure that anyone who wanted to cross through the paths wouldn't be stopped by the marshland. They're very half submerged, and that continuous rattling noise almost becomes white noise to you all as you're moving along. How are you arranging yourselves?
I think I'm driving the cart because I'm leading. I'm helping our mules or horses or whatever.
I'm at the back of the cart, and I'm actively sitting and keeping watch. I have Morrow on my hand just as an extra set of eyes. It's not flying, but just we're a four-eyed creature together.
Okay. There is
Gia's still
another.
pushing the cart.
Yeah, I figured as much. There is another set of coring, very similar. And for a moment, you think it is Morrow, and you look up, and there's a couple of crows that just sit on a very barren tree every now and then. Gio, you're helping push the cart.
Yep.
Ku?
I'm probably in the back of the cart.
Okay. So Larea, if you can make a perception check, and you can have advantage because Ku is gonna help you out.
Alright. That is a 16.
About 10 to 15 minutes go by. You guys have been traveling down this new path for quite a while, but the noise of the crows has given you an edge to look more, maybe, especially because of recent events. And there's a soft, ashen smell on the wind. And you and Koos tilt your head forwards. Bellini's too busy wrangling the horses to make some progress. And in the front, far off in the distance, you can see the beginning of Thrin's Hollow, but where you had expected maybe a marshland, almost like New Orleans style town, is just a skeletal remain of burned out homes. And they jut out like broken ribs, charred beams slick with moss, and those planks that line the road are rotten and broken. A rusted bell tower leans at a very unnatural angle. You can see the bell is still hanging untouched above the drowned remnants of the town square. There's no birds, no sound, and the water just slowly ripples. as Bellini pushes the cart onwards, part of the bridge drops, and the cart is sifted off to one side. I need all of you to make a dex save.
Yikes.
Ooh, that's better than I thought.
7 for me.
That is a
17.
Okay.
18.
What'd you get, Larea?
7.
Everyone but Larea quickly makes sure to tumble the right way. You guys, one of you, Aku probably just leaps onto the next plank. Bellini falls with the horses but keeps himself astride one of them, sort of hanging a little bit. Gio, you just fall onto your feet and are standing in essentially waist-high water, but you're a lot taller, so it's not as bad. Larea just goes face first into not only mud, but water and moss, and she's sunk in a little bit, and it's all in your mouth and your hair.
I reach out my hand to Larea and help her get out of the mud.
Thank you. I drag the mud off my face, and it doesn't look any better.
Still looks creepy as hell.
It's a vibe. It's
It is
just
a
that I'm very
vibe.
wet and very
Just constantly
cold.
wet. You know that the cart is tilted on one side now, completely lost one of its wheels beneath the marsh.
Can I make a strength check to see if I can pick up the cart and carry it over the bridge to the other side?
If you want, I will say that the DC is probably a 22.
Okay.
If I cast Enlarge, does that help him?
Oh yeah, can I use Giant's Might too?
I mean, yeah, you can if you want to. I'll allow it.
Do you want the Enlarge besides Giant's Might, or do you think being large will be helpful?
I
Or
think
being
having both, just in case I roll bad.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I'll cast Enlarge.
How do you want me to use Enlarge and Giant's Might with my roll? I can.
That's a very good question. I would say you can add 2d6.
He also has advantage on strength checks
Yeah.
from Enlarge.
And strength saving throw.
Okay, so you can add 1d6 and then add and have your advantage.
Nat 20 plus 4 plus 4.
Yep,
Okay.
checks out.
Yeah, you lift this whole thing and it just creaks under the sheer weight of it. I will say, even with a nat 20, you also forgot to unhook the horses, so they are dangling sort of upside down, caught in their own harnesses. It's all twisted, but you lift the entire thing above your head. You're a good 12, 15 feet tall with this, but you are sinking slowly because you weigh a whole lot more into the mud. But you gently carry this whole thing across and shove it back on where the path would remain, which is just the other side of the town square. The horses are still tangled up and messed, and they're trying. One of them's trying to run a little bit, but it can't because you've still got a hold of this cart to make sure nothing happens.
I cast Speak with Animals, and I tell him, hey, don't worry. It's okay. We will untangle you. It's okay. You've seen us do weirder shit. Please breathe.
I
It's okay.
will
And I
I'll
pet
cast Mold Earth to create a little divot, a little dam around them so they get a little bit more space. And free up some of the mud. I don't actually affect the water, so they'll still be in water, but the mud inside it, I will be able to push back.
Yeah, there's just a splashing mess of whinnies, and they do calm down a little bit, and you're getting a bit of a wrangle to them. The three of you, so Ku, Bellini, and Lorea, you're a good 60 feet back the other way. You are able to do all of that.
Cool. Yep. And I guess we start making our way into town after we get everything. We're not quiet in any means. So if there's anything in this city, we've alerted them.
It's very apt you say that. I'd say Ku's probably the most attentive out of all of you. Just being how Von plays him. Ku, can I have another perception check?
Absolutely. Maybe I won't roll another 6. Oh, there we go. That's an 18.
Okay. You're looking around. You don't see a whole lot other than the scarred remains of whatever this town was and what might have happened to it. You do see slowly trickling smoke. And you know enough that this might have happened anywhere up to a week before. It's just been keeping its heat in some places, and the water is making sure that a lot of the fire never reignites. But again, there's not much to burn other than what already has been. And as you're looking across that, there is a shift beneath some parts of the water, and you watch almost like a portion of a tree move, or a log, as it dips below.
Can I do an aerial scout with a Morrow to try and investigate what that is moving in the water?
Mm-hmm.
Using our connected sight.
Sure, yeah. Make a...
So I'll kneel down in the cart and close my eyes, and I'm unresponsive, and Morrow starts flying, and I'm looking through his eyes as if I'm the one flying.
Are you looking to sort of explore the area, or are you focusing just on that one point?
I'm focusing on whatever ripples the water, because I'm worried about an alligator or crocodile-like creature to bite us in the ankles.
Okay, yeah, make a perception check.
Oh, it's a 7. I'm rolling like sugar.
If there was something, it's below the water, and it's a lot dark and overcast, and there's vegetation and roots and burnt houses and various other things. You do notice that there's deep gouges in some of the wood and the roofing and parts of the town that would have been made after it was burnt. You're not too sure anything other than that.
I come back to, and I kind of grunt and say, well, I thought Raven's sight would be incredible, but here we are. Don't see anything of interest. I do share that I saw gouges. There must be something here, but I can't quite make out if it's still here and what it could be.
I will start poking around the water. If there's something in there, I'll be like, fuck it. I'm aquatic. I'm a turtle. And I will I'll take my quarterstaff. Like, you see me just pull a large staff out of my bag, and it just goes boop 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 boop. And I just start poking into the water with it. If that's where we think there is something, I'll be like, what's going on over here? And I'll start doing that.
Okay. So you watch Bellini move off a good maybe 20 feet off to the left. Begin poking around with his stick. Beline, you do make contact with something. And as
Oh.
you push it, it sort of bobs back a little bit.
Can I ritual cast detect? Can I pause and take a second and be like, you know what would make this easier? If I could detect magic, and
Mhm.
I ritual cast detect magic, and as I go along poking, I will see if there's any magic or magical residue left over.
So that'll take you 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's fine.
What are the rest of you doing while he's poking the water like a crazy person?
I think I'm gonna go into town carefully, but seeing as I have not seen anything of immediate danger, I'm going to work under the assumption that we might not get ambushed. I'm going to walk into the first burnt down house I can see.
You're not too sure of what this building might have been, but it's quite large, and you can still see the skeletal structure of what it had been. It's charcoaled, blackened. Make an investigation check.
Uh, 6.
You two are just moving around. You toss something to the side. It might have been an old cabinet or something. And there's another movement in the water as this object bobs up and faces you, and it's bloated and disfigured, but it's definitely a person. It has twisted face in horror, and you can see it still clutches a very rusted sword now. And just lying there.
Y'all, I found a body. There's a dead person here. And it's bloated, so it's been dead for a while. I did not kill it. But yeah, this is a thing. This is spooky.
Well, I would expect there to be corpses in a burned down village. I'll walk on over to the corpse.
Mhm.
May I try and find out a general autopsy report? How long has it been dead? Was it burnt?
Make a medicine check. Yeah, absolutely.
Did it suffocate from smoke or whatever?
Can
A
I help?
13.
Can I help?
Yeah, I was gonna say, can I provide the help action?
Yeah, you can give her advantage, absolutely. As you all crowd around this. Gio, what have you been doing?
I've been petting the horses.
Oh, okay. Are you still massive?
Hmm. Well, actually, no. It only lasts a minute. So.
Oh, okay. It's sort of like, woo!
My medicine is an 18.
There are some, what you can assume are maybe lingering burn marks across a part of his arm, a little bit of his face. The most distinct thing is that he is just a torso and has no legs, and it looks like it's ripped and torn. You can see part of his spine sticking out and congealed, blackened ends of entrails, things like that.
Yeah, looks like he just perished in this fire. Nothing special. I would like to take a look at the sword, but having learned from my my other hand, I might not touch it.
It's a very, you don't even need to roll for that. It's just a very simple old rusted sword. You guess maybe it was handed down from, it might be a farmer. Definitely not well used. Not that well sharpened.
Can I look for his legs?
If you want to, yeah. Is that what you're going to spend your time doing? Looking for the other half?
Well, I've casted detect magic, so I start panning for pings of magic as I walk around this village and in this water, and
Okay.
stop whenever I get any pings or anything.
Gio, as you're petting the horses, there is a soft... You're one with mud. You've got a high passive perception, this is why. You're one with mud. and there's like a vibration that you feel through the ground because you're slightly lower than everyone else. And you can feel that movement turn, and something is heading towards you.
Guys, there's something on its way.
I whip around and head towards Geo.
Okay. Everyone else?
I'm kind of hanging back. I'm smirking a little bit. I want to see how this plays out.
Okay. I'll say for everyone, you guys in the building, you're about 60 feet away. Again, you just moved across, maybe around the corner to a different building. Geo, with his horses, you're slightly further ahead, closer to where the path would continue through the town. It is difficult terrain, but as Bellini begins sloshing his way through the marshlands, even though he is a turtle, still doesn't help him. Geo, can you make a strength saving throw?
Yes.
I was
do
going to
have
say
advantage on
dex, but
strength
you
saving
you
throws.
probably use strength over dex, so strength.
Yeah. A natural 20.
A giant green moss-covered moor opens up underneath the water, and you had already felt where it was coming from, and it seems to be aiming for the biggest target it can find. And as this crocodile leaps out, you can see the soft score marks of deep gouges along its scales, a blackened eye, part of its flesh is slightly peeled off. It is going for you, and you just deck it in the face, and it hits the water and swims off slightly, but you can see it's doing the thing where it would bank and come back around for another hit. Can everyone roll initiative for me?
Yeah.
Giant
Jesus.
crocodile.
Can you lend me some of your nat 20s? Because I rolled a 3.
It's okay, I rolled a 1! Woo! Don't
What
blame
is up
us.
with that?
Woo.
Alright.
I blame Rain, these are his dice.
My initiative is a 4. I rolled a 3 plus 1, so 4.
1
So you're
plus
thankful
1,
for me when it's
2.
high, but you blame me when it's low.
That's how that works, right? Yeah, totally. No, it's,
Okay, sorry, so say it
it's
again.
RNGesus.
Geo?
12.
12. Oh, not 122. Ku.
15.
Bellini.
Yeah, that's a 1 plus 1, 2. I can do math.
Quick maths. Lorea.
Yeah.
4!
No way. I rolled a 1.
Yeah, let's go. Crocodile's
Ku,
still
you're up
probably going
first.
before me.
I'd say you're maybe 100 feet away from the crocodile, 60 feet away from Geo.
I will use my full 35 feet of movement. I know it's difficult terrain, so I think that's what, 15, 20 feet?
I'd say 20,
To
yeah.
get closer to Geo. That should put me...
80.
How far away was the crocodile?
So you're 80
80
feet
feet.
away now, yeah.
Alright. I will... use my cunning action to bonus action dash
Mm-hmm.
to get another 20 feet closer.
Cool.
And then I'll just throw a psychic dagger at it.
Go for it.
It's a 10 to hit,
Misses.
and that will be my turn.
Cool. Geo, you're up.
I'm gonna take the wooden mallet that I just bought and cast Firebolt on it and throw it at the crocodile.
Go for it.
That's a 13 to hit.
Misses. Anything else?
That ends my turn. Nope.
Yeah. You just watch this flaming hammer sail through the air and just hit the water. Just, psst. That's it. It's like, oh.
It was worth
Lorea,
the one
you're up.
silver.
We were about 100 feet away from this thing.
Yes.
I will use my full walking speed, 30 feet, to get as close as I can. It's difficult terrain, so that's 15 feet, I guess.
It is.
I will use Mold Earth to create a pillar underneath me, so I get raised out of the water and on a safe patch of dry land.
Very cool.
And as a bonus action, I will cast Hex on the creature that has a 90-foot range. So I am in range now, just by 5 feet. And it will be a Wisdom Hex.
I'm not good at those. I'm just a crocodile. Yeah, that's a 2.
Yeah. It's they don't need to save. They get disadvantage on Wisdom saves, as long as I'm concentrating.
Oh, okay.
So that ends my turn.
Bellini.
Was I? I'm still 100 feet away.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm just gonna run at the crocodile. And I'm gonna. So that'll get me 75 feet, or no, 85 feet. What's my range on any of my shit? How far can I hit with a sling? Hold on. Nope, that's 30 feet. So nope. I'm just gonna. I'm not gonna Scorching Ray this crocodile. I'm just gonna dash. Sit 30 feet. So. Yeah, that's my turn. I'm now close to the 70 feet away.
All right. You watch this giant crocodile banks around, is heading straight for Geo, and as it launches itself out of the water, just misses completely. He goes to bite him. Geo just steps to one side. His tail flicks and head moves. Very simple movement. As it splashes down, it is right next to him. Ku, you're up.
I was muted. I will bonus action steady aim to attack this time to give myself advantage. If that worked. Did not. 15?
Hits.
That is 12 points of psychic damage.
Love it. Anything else?
Nope.
Geo.
I'm going to take my maul since it's right next to me and just try and whack it on top of its head. And I miss.
Oh no.
I rolled a
He's
10.
watched an eruption of water as Geo goes to try and hit where he thought it was, and it's already just off to one side. Lorea, you're up.
I'm going to cast Eldritch Blast because it has a 120-foot range.
Okay.
That's a 16 to hit.
Hit.
And that is 5 force damage.
Okay.
Checking. No, that's all. That is my turn.
Alright, Bellini, you're up.
Cool. It's still 70 feet away from me, or is it closer?
It moved, I can't remember this now. It's 30 feet away from you now.
Great. I'm gonna move 15 feet. So I'm 15 feet away from it, and I'm gonna huck a fireball at it. So I'm gonna produce flame and throw fire at it. Oop. That's a 2 plus, I believe, 5. Ready? Yeah, 2 plus 5, 7. Does
Well
my
done.
7
You
hit
can count.
this crocodile?
That does not hit, unfortunately.
That's my turn.
He is going to try and bite Geo again. Both hit. So that is rough. That's what it is.
$30 points of damage.
26 points of damage.
Ooh.
Oh, pretty close.
And then hits you with his tail, which is 11 points of bludgeoning damage as it bites around your leg and you instinctively jump down. It smacks you in the face with the tail.
That's what I get for being so big.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd be incapacitated.
Koo, you're up.
Alright. I'm going to bonus action steady aim again and launch a dagger. That's a 17.
Tits.
So sorry.
16 points of psychic damage.
Amazing. Anything else?
Nope. That's my bonus action and I cannot move.
Cool. You're all watching Koo fling these translucently, sometimes appears there, sometimes isn't, blades, and see those impacts and wounds begin to open. The water around Geo just turns a dark red as the two of them are battling against each other. Geo, you're up.
I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on myself as my action.
Okay. Anything else?
Nope, that's it. I heal for 7 points.
Nice. Lorea.
It's moved closer. Is it within 60 feet of me now?
Yes.
I would like to cast Toll the Dead. It needs to make a wisdom saving throw, but with disadvantage because of its hex.
It's not wise. It's just a little boy.
I don't care. I'm gonna ring the bell.
5.
Yeah, that doesn't save. He will get 1d12 necrotic damage, 7 necrotic damage.
Cool. What does it look like?
Toll the Dead, you get that Dolores bell that we mentioned earlier. So a kind of ominous bell that is being rung as I hold up my hand towards the crocodile, and it just fills that crocodile with mental torment of dark powers, and you see sort of swirly greenish spirits circling around it and leave as they leave their mark.
Very cool. Bellini, you're up.
Cool. I'm gonna walk the next 15 feet so I'm next to Geo. I'm gonna bonus action Shillelagh, and I'm gonna hit this crocodile with a big ol' stick. Let's go 18 plus 5.
Nice.
23.
That hits.
Cool. It takes 1d8 plus 3 damage. It takes 8 damage as I go bonk. Stop
That's
that.
going
And
to retaliate
I hit it on its head.
because Bellini hit him. 21
That hits.
and 25.
Yeah, that definitely hits. Actually, no. I'm gonna make it re-roll that. I'm gonna burn a luck point.
Okay. 26.
What the fuck? Yeah.
You actually made it go up, not down.
The lady's about to be
Damn.
incapacitated. How much damage am I taking?
So he bites you first, sort of making it so his entire mouth is around your torso. You can even feel part of your shell crack as his teeth makes impact.
Wow.
Ooh, I'm rolling low.
That's good.
13 piercing
Okay.
damage.
Okay. I'm still up.
And I'm going to actually... Yeah.
And then it hits me with its tail? Question
Yeah.
mark?
I don't like that smile.
17
that
bludgeoning
one.
damage.
So a total of 30.
Yes. And
Ow,
you are currently
man.
grappled.
Oh no.
God. Are you still up?
I have 4 hit points.
Jesus.
So he's got you in his mouth, just the teeth
Great.
sunk in. You're grappled, restrained. He can't bite anyone else, which, in part of you, you're like, oh, thank God for that. But then you can feel it begin to make purchase and touch the fleshy parts of your insides.
Ow, ow. Cool. Ow.
Koo.
I'm gonna bonus action steady aim and toss a dagger at the one grabbing onto Bellini.
Go for it.
$21.
Hits.
That is 14 points of psychic damage.
Rough. Cool. Anything else?
Nope, that will be the end of my turn.
Geo.
I'm going to hit it on top of its head with a maul.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dang it. Nope, I miss again.
Aw.
It almost landed on an 18.
Yeah. Lorraine?
Sorry, I didn't catch it.
That's all
I
right.
thought he was still doing something. I am going to cast Toll the Dead again. It needs to make another wisdom saving throw with disadvantage.
Well, we both know he's gonna fail. Oh, that was so close. 2.
Yeah, nearly, but no, it fails. I will roll a d12. He gets 9 necrotic damage.
Nice.
And that same ominous bell rings and fills him with torment. And that is going to be my turn. I'm staying on my little tower. My dirt tower.
Bellini, you're up.
I am going to I'm still in its mouth. I'm gonna summon Eth.
Okay.
And I'm also gonna drink a potion, and then Eth is gonna appear, and it needs to make a dexterity saving throw.
Am I dexterous? No.
Probably. Oh,
That is a 6.
That fails. It takes. Hold on. Actions, summon. 2d6, so it takes 6 points of fire damage. And I drink a potion.
Okay.
Inventory, potion of greater healing. 44 plus 4. And I'm just in this thing's mouth. And you just see me like...
It's-
oh god.
Going to make a hail swipe at Geo, which is a 25.
That
That's not
hits.
a lot of healing.
For 18 bludgeoning damage. Also make me a strength saving throw, if you please. Which
Yes,
I know
I
you're
can
going to
do that.
pass, but that's pointless.
26.
Yep. As you feel him try and move you out of the way, he's actually going to end the grapple and try and bite Geo. What are you? 18?
That barely hits, but it does hit.
Nice. Where did I put my D10? 21 piercing damage, and you are currently in his mouth.
Okay, I am also down.
Okay. He is then going to try and drag Gio's body underneath the water. So Bellini, you will get an opportunity attack.
Let's go. F also gets an opportunity attack.
I don't think they have reactions. Do they? I might be wrong.
looking.
You can look it up if
I think
you
he
please.
does. Actions. Action. I don't. It doesn't
Oh,
say
it
they.
does. It does.
Yeah, I was about to say. I'm pretty sure it does.
Because it states it can move and take reactions on its own turn.
Yeah.
So it does. Yeah, both
Yeah.
of you will get one.
Cool. I am a warcaster. Do I have a spell that could target it? No. Okay, so my attack is a nat 20. Let's
Ooh,
fucking go.
Fuck me.
And S attack is also a nat 20.
Okay, I want you to describe to me in like an Avengers style how you kill this creature and recover Gio all in one. Well, 6 seconds.
So I was grappled. I was in the water. You just see my stick poke out of the ground for a second, and I go, and then F launches off said stick, flies up into the air, and like Human Torch dives into the top of this crocodile. Its mouth opens, and then you just see this stick, my shillelagh, go, whoop, as it launches Gio up out of the water, and then I just stand up and I go, I did it.
There is an explosion of water as you watch this crocodile get impacted by a flying on fire sack doll. It moves around for a little bit, rolling across the water in its death throes. And after a while, it does go a bit still and, sorry, I hit my mic, and float up, unmoving. We are still in initiative. Gio is still down. So, Ku, it is your turn.
Isn't it my turn? Because it was a reaction from Bellini and F.
Oh, yeah, no, you're
Yeah,
right,
those
sorry.
were
Yes, it's Laria's turn.
opportunities.
I get down from my my dirt pillar. How far away am I now from it? I was about 15 feet away from Bellini, but I don't know if I'm.
Then you're 15 feet away from it as well.
He is still somewhat underwater, I believe.
Yep.
I will cast my mold earth again. I can have 2 instances active at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I will try and create a divot in that turn. Divot is not the right word. A bump to try and bump Gio up.
Okay.
That's my turn. That's all I can do. Now it's Bellini's turn, I think.
Yep.
I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds on Gio.
Bless you.
Thank you.
How did I lose my D8 again? It's right here. I was like, I used you to hit. Gio, you heal 4 hit points because I rolled a 1.
Wait.
Woo!
Hey, at least I'm knocked down still, so.
Yeah, you watch as Gio's mouth opens and there's like a spurt of water, like a tiny water fountain. You are all out of initiative with this floating carcass of the crocodile, just gently bobbing.
Well,
I'm going to down a healing potion or two.
Okay.
Can I cut the crocodile open? I want to see what's in its belly.
Yeah,
Can
maybe
I have
a
Lorraine
survival
like
check.
make an autopsy table so it's out of the water, flip it over, and then I take a dagger and I go.
sure.
Survival
I think
check?
it's like
Yep.
no.
That's a 19
do
plus
one more.
5, 24. Let's go wisdom checks. I'm good at those.
What are you looking for? Would be my question.
Bits of people, bits of random bullshit, and
So you want to search his stomach?
yeah.
Yeah, you
See,
open him
there's
up
a girl
and
with
there's
a red cap.
You open it up and there's a tumbling odd limb, the remnants of a digested piece of leg, a couple of shoes. There's an odd looking dagger that might have been causing him a bit of aggravation that he accidentally swallowed. And you also see a clawed, furry arm.
I pick that one up and I hold it up and I go, this one's not people. I don't know what this is.
At least we know it's not my arm. Geo looks down.
Bellini also looks down. No, it's not my claw. I'm not furry.
Neither of you are furry.
Can I roll to see if I know what kind of creature this is?
I mean, yeah, you can make a medicine check if you want. Try and
Yeah.
figure out what that is.
I'm just gonna stand over his shoulder. What is it? Is it a bugbear? Is it?
I rolled a 1 plus 3, a 4.
This is a creature that may or may not have fur.
I think it's a werewolf, y'all.
No, it's probably a bugbear.
Can I do a medicine check to see if I know what it is?
Cool, do you know what this is?
No, because Bellini's already done one.
Cool, what is this? You're the smart one, supposedly.
None of you can think of what it might be at the moment.
Is it a dog? Am I sad?
It's definitely humanoid, quite large,
Okay.
maybe the same size as Geo.
Large bugbear. I'm pretty certain of it.
I want to move the horses and wagon on a dry land, out of the water, where if a crocodile were to attack, they would have to like crawl on the ground first.
Well, where
Like,
Geo had
into
put
the
them,
city.
he placed them back on the series of planks that
Oh,
line
okay.
the pathway, so they are only slightly above the water.
Okay, cool. I guess we could need to check out this city and then keep moving as quickly as possible, because this is not a good place.
Whatever it was and whatever it ate, they're both dead. So we
As
should be
you're
fine.
looking over the crocodile, you do spy the tip edge of a spear that's been wrapped with some sort of tangled fabric. Seems to be very crudely made. There's no aesthetic design thought of when it was made. It's got a very barbed tip to it.
Gotcha.
Well, let's see if we can find a little bit of shelter to, even in this burnt down village, to wait the rain out. What'd you say?
Yeah. I could use some. I could use a break.
Yeah. Me too.
I can understand that. That's
Who would you like
I
to
would
nominate
love
to
a
try and
short
find
rest.
somewhere?
I can look around for shelter. That's a survival check, right?
Be investigation to have a look around for it.
I'm not good at investigation.
Survival
like
would
to-
be more if you're looking for like trees, caves, things like that.
Gotcha.
I would like to help. I'm not proficient in investigation, but I did live on the streets, so I would like to help by giving tips on or ideas of how you would make shelter when you're actually out in the streets.
Sure, you can give someone the help action if you want.
I look at Ku and Geo. One of y'all want to take a stab at this?
I
Can.
think we have high in characters, do we?
You said investigation, right?
It is
Yeah.
investigation, yeah. I love that sometimes it
Well-
falls on Geo to be clever. Did you roll with advantage?
What is-
No. 18.
There you go.
Oh.
It does dawn on you, as Bellini mentions, like you and Ku and how everyone grew up in a city and this is all a bit new. A lot of the time when Bellini would take you on Sundays or whatever day, I can't. There is actually days that I've written down, but I put that by the wayside. On the equivalent of Sundays, when people would go to church, a lot of the times holy places are placed in areas that are considered safe structurally and geographically in order to make sure that the place of faith would no longer be impacted should natural disaster hit. So you guess maybe there's a church in this town, and unless they were faithless, they wouldn't have burnt down the church. So maybe you should go there. And Gio does point all of this out to you, and he looks around the town a little bit and follows its very natural progression. And off to one side, sat on a slight rock of limestone and a little bit of granite, is this small building that is slightly charred, but a lot of the roof is still intact, and it does look somewhat like a temple to the Trinity. So it's a very domed structure. Natural winds and rain has not been kind to this, so the doors are shattered. It's a little bit covered in moss, and like I said, one part of the roof is completely burnt out, so the rain is pouring into it. There's overturned pews, and there's a skeleton of a priest clutching a very rusted dagger right at the altar.
I go and start praying.
Very nice. Who are you praying to?
I'm just praying.
Okay.
You
Just
know
to
who I'm
any-
praying to, but
Just to anyone who would listen.
Yeah.
Okay.
the Geo way.
I go over to the area that is dedicated to Zephyrix.
Mhm.
And I clear it up. I clean it up a little bit. I will like druid craft like fresh flowers in the pots and that kind of stuff, and I pray to Zephyrix and I thank him for letting us use his house as shelter. And then I set up camp for the night.
I am a godless woman, so I will go over to the skeleton and start puppeteering him. Hello, me, I am a priest. The gods did not save me when I needed them most.
Yeah, Lorraine does that very like classic vampire in a church move, ironically. As she like goes to walk inside and then checks it with a toe. She's not burning, so it's all good, and then keeps going. Starts playing around with the skeleton.
Yeah.
How long would you want to stay inside this church?
What time of day is it? Is it late or is
It's
it
about noon.
We want the horses to have a rest so they can trudge through the mud again, I suppose.
Yeah. I would like to take a short rest and then like look around this city and see if we can figure out like what caused it to burn down. If there are, it looks like there are no survivors, but like, can we like loot and see if there's like food or feed for the animals, because like we can hunt for food and scavenge, but like our horses need food and whatnot. So I'd like to take a short rest and then yeah.
Okay. Let me know how you'd all rest up.
I fall asleep while praying.
Aww. What do I do? I just find a corner, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
And since it's just a short rest, I'm just going to relax and not actually sleep. I'll just play around with some pebbles or something. Play with Morrow.
As you're doing that, there is a gentle burning reminder that flares up in your hand. Just for a second. Almost as if keeping... You instinctively went with your dominant hand to stroke him. And it didn't quite like that. And you quickly... Well, you realize that, oh, you might disintegrate him, so you quickly switch. Just a nice reminder.
I don't need a rest, so I will find like a good vantage point and keep watch.
Okay, yeah. Are you perching yourself on the roof, or are you just gonna sit by the front door, or how would you want to do it?
Preferably on the roof, so I can have a better view and also not get fucked by some crocodiles if they...
Make me a perception check. I'll give you advantage as your colleagues are all chilling out, having some me time. You're going to be their watchful eye. So 12.
Yep.
You don't really see anything out of the ordinary for a while, and even just sitting there, you're a little bit worn out from the cold and the wet and a little bit bored, and so you just look off to the distance thinking about your time at home and how much nicer it would be if you were just back sitting in your study chatting away with your roommate and not have a care in the world. I don't think you'd hear it first. Gio's asleep.
I'm wrapping myself in band-aids, and F is like cauterizing my bite wounds.
But yes, you can all take your short rest and roll your various hit die.
Cool.
I'd say Larea actually hears it first. It's almost like a mocking sound, and at first you think maybe he's talking to you finally, giving you an answer. It's like a soft laugh. But then there's something else, and the more you're listening to it, the more it just sounds wrong. There's almost like a growling with it. Almost like a hyena. There is a piercing cackle. Q, you immediately spot a gnoll lingering at the door. Its head tilted. You can see the broken shaft of a spear that it's now using as just a bludgeoning weapon. Seems to be observing your companions. checking to see if they're dead or not. You're muted.
You're muted.
Sorry, I am looking in my inventory for something that'll make some noise. Okay, yeah, I will take out of my pack. I have a python. Just gonna throw one of those and hope it clatters.
Sure. Are you throwing it away to see if they'll...
Kind of like behind where the knoll is, so that maybe it also turns around.
Yeah, you chuck it. It hits part of a... well, you're a pretty good toss. As you've shown in your combat, you throw it, it hits part of a building, makes this huge clanging sound, it hits the water and splashes. The knoll immediately swivels its head, and you can hear some splashing as it wades its way off towards the noise. You know...
Upon the... Sorry.
It's fine. It's fine. You know, gnolls don't travel alone, so you're just immediately keeping an eye out. Carry on.
I haven't seen it yet, but upon hearing the sound, I immediately jump up from my resting position, and I ready my chill touch. You see the green glow on my hand, and I skulk around to see if I can catch a glimpse of whatever made that noise.
Yes, you're just peeking around the doorway. It's off a good 30 feet away from you. It went towards the sound and then tilted its head, and it seems to be chattering to something else beyond, off outside of the town. It just continues into more marshland, and it seems to be facing towards there.
I point towards Geo, and Morrow follows my path. Starts pecking Geo in the belly to wake him up.
I
No?
don't wake up. I sleep outside.
I look over to see Morrow pecking, and Geo just not responding. So I focus. I sweep my hand. I focus on Bellini, and I have him peck Bellini softly and lovingly in the neck to grab its attention.
Yeah. Bellini, in your rest, you seem to have retreated a little bit into your shell until you hear this dull knocking irritating you, and your head immediately reaching out.
Yeah, do I see the knoll standing in the door?
No, because it's not there anymore. But you do see Larea sort of looking at you, looking back through the doorway at something.
I look at Lorraine and I go, "Are we in danger?"
Possibly.
What
Get
was
that
it?
hippo off his feet. No.
A knoll. Oh no. I walk over to Geo, and I pull a small melon out of my bag, and I put it in his mouth, and I push his mouth shut. And I go, "Hey buddy, wake up. We have trouble."
He like startles awake and immediately jumps up, and then
There you
finishes
go.
eating the melon.
Yeah.
Just
Hey buddy. Just heads up. Apparently there's a knoll, and knolls don't travel alone. So we might be in danger.
Yay, more fighting.
Yeah.
Q, how much more time do you have?
15 minutes.
Good to know.
I'm gonna slowly poke my head out the door.
Yeah, you can see there's one lone knoll off, away from the town, standing at the edge of what continues to be more marshland and swamp.
Can I call out to it in Druidic or Orc? I go through all the languages I speak: Common, Druidic, Orc, Primordial. I go, "Mr. Knoll, are you friendly? Are you gonna try and eat us? Are you alone?
You see it whips its head round, growls, and it's chattering, not in a language that you know.
I look at Geo and I go, Geo, do you want to try the languages you know? Ask it who it is. Does it speak any languages? Are you going to eat us? Are you alone? Are you hungry? Do you need a snack?
I just yell out, "Who are you?" in a mix of Infernal and Primordial.
Doesn't seem to be any of the languages they speak. Ku, you can hear this odd stretching sound of fibers being pulled back, and you instinctively know that there's a bow somewhere else that has just been tightened.
Yeah, I mean, I think at this point I drop pretense and just shout out Noel and see what happens.
Cool. As soon as you do that, and as these are trying to converse with him, you watch he chatters to his left and then his right, and off next to him, this other gnoll appears with a longbow in hand, arrow ready. Another just grasping a hatchet, his mouth drooling as they're all facing all three of you. All four of you. There is a bit of a standoff as they tilt their head. You can see they're all slowly trying to see if it's worth fighting you or not.
What do I know of gnolls? Do
Make a
I know their
history
behavior?
check.
Are they... I want to know, I'm going to roll, I want to know if they are scavengers, like, gieren. Those graveyard birds? What are they called again?
Vultures?
Vultures! I want to know if they're scavengers, like vultures, or active, oh, it doesn't matter. I rolled that one, so I don't know.
You're not too sure. They're evil. That's all you've known. That's all you were taught as a child, is to be wary of gnolls.
Yeah.
I would say
Um,
Geo
Yeah.
has an instinctively repulsive feeling towards them. Naturally. It's just an instinct for you. Obviously, you don't know the
Those
history
evil.
of them, but
Me no likey.
I
Yeah,
ready
pretty
Eldritch
much.
Blast.
okay.
And I will ready it until they initiate attack or come near us.
Sure. Absolutely. Anyone else want to try something?
I start throwing ski balls.
Yeah, I produce flame in my hand and I get ready to throw it.
Okay, roll me initiative. As you already, they see Larea begin to cast something. They know somewhat. They are sentient. They know what casting is. They have experienced it.
Eight.
Geo,
I've rolled
what'd
a
you roll?
6.
An 8.
An 8. Ku.
Initiative?
Yes, please.
13.
Cool. And if it's all right with you, I'll just roll your steady aim and sneak attack and just keep that moving over.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Bellini.
17. I also have a question.
Yes.
Has it been an hour since we fought the crocodile or not?
No, it's been half an hour. So
Okay,
that's what
great.
your
F
short
is
rest
sti-
is.
Yeah, F is still up. Okay, cool. He lasts an hour, so I wasn't sure if I had to summon him again or not.
No, good. That makes sense. Larea.
6.
6. Okay, Bellini, you're going to be up first. Larea, you get an instinct, or you all do, that they might have been attracted by sound, and most probably Ku realizes that most of all because his ploy to distract the Null worked. Your Toll the Dead is quite loud, and that might have been why they came back to see what was happening. Bellini, you're up.
I'm gonna huck my produced flame at the one with the bow.
Okay.
That is a 13 plus 5, 18 to hit.
Hits. Nicely done.
Cool. And I'm also gonna tell F to throw his firebolt, his little fireball, at the same dude. That Null takes 8 points of fire damage from me.
Amazing.
And from F is gonna roll to hit. And we're both gonna move closer towards the Nulls. F is gonna fly up above them, but F is gonna roll to hit. Does a spell ranged weapon attack spell attack modifier to hit. That is a 15 to hit.
Hits.
Cool. And that dude takes 4 plus 2, 6 damage
Amazing.
from F.
Yeah. You just hit him twice. There's like a scorching singeing of burning fur, and he reels back. Looks pretty hurt.
And then I'm gonna walk forward slowly. Are we still in difficult terrain or?
Yes.
Cool. Okay, then I walk 15 feet forward. Shield up. That's my turn.
Cool.
I will bonus action steady aim and toss a dagger at that same one. That is 17 to hit.
Hits.
Uh, 15 points of psychic damage.
Yeah, you hit him dead center. This time your blade doesn't even appear. It's just a wound opens, and he sort of reels back and falls into the water. His companion picks up his bow and just flings an arrow at Larea. Doubt he'll hit, but nope. And you can see he moves back slightly, and his companion seems to move forwards. Both of them missed whatever they were going to plan on doing, so Geo, you're up.
Okay. I steady my longbow and I aim at one of the Nulls that I can see.
Okay.
Does a 13 hit?
It does not.
Okay. That is my turn.
Cool. Larea.
Are they at like an edge of a sort of a foresty or tree line?
They are right at the edge of the tree line, yeah. One of them has stepped back almost tentatively.
I will cast Phantasmal Force, the one most in front still, and I will conjure a tree similar in species as the trees that are there, but it's going to be like those scary Snow White trees. It's going to have a mouth and glowing eyes, and it's trees, and it's going to try and whack the Null.
Okay.
And it must make an intelligence saving throw.
Oh. 15.
Oh, fuck! It doesn't believe it's real. So it doesn't do damage.
Okay. That is very surprising.
Yeah. For my bonus action, I'm not going to do anything. That's my turn.
Alright. Let's get another quick round in. Bellini.
Yeah, I'm gonna move another 15 feet forward. Am I within melee range of the knoll?
You are now, yes.
Cool. I'm gonna take my I'm just gonna produce flame. I'm gonna try to hit it with the flame in my hand and make a melee claw attack. Question:
Mhm.
If I melee claw attack, oh no, produce flame is an action.
Mhm.
Doing so ends the spell, so I'd have to recast produce flame, and then make a melee claw attack. If I melee claw attack while I've produced flame casted, do I just roll flame damage or do I roll claw damage as well?
That's a very good question. Produce flame. Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum. You would only make your claw attack because it's a ranged flame attack. So you'd have to
Gotcha.
hurl it at his face.
Gotcha. But if I melee attack, it's just claw. Like I can't use produce flame to make a melee attack.
No, unfortunately not.
Okay. That's fine. That's fine. I'll just. Are my claws better than my club? Yes. Yes, they are. I'm just gonna hit it. I'm just gonna punch it, and Eth is gonna fireball it.
Cool.
That is a. Oh yeah, no. I was like, why do I not roll claws? It's like because my 2 hit is terrible. That's an 11 to hit.
That misses.
Okay, and then F is gonna fireball this one.
Okay.
That's a 17 to hit.
And
And
hits.
and F does 7 points of fire damage
Cool.
to this knoll.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Who, you're up. Before you are off.
Alright, I will bonus action steady aim, toss a psychic dagger at the one that got at the Rhea. 22 to hit.
Hits.
Uh, 14 points of psychic damage.
Yeah, you just once again, 2 of them just hit him in the shoulder, and reels back, leading into the water. Geo, you're up. Oh no, I'm up. Woohoo! I'm gonna try and bite Bellini, and I miss, because he has a shell. That's it. And the other one is gonna fling his bow at Lorea. 19?
Yeah, and a hit.
3 damage.
Wow.
Yes. Gio, you're up.
Longbow again.
Mhm.
An 11.
Misses.
That's it.
Just stick to hitting things.
No, I just don't want to move. I'm still a little groggy and tired.
Yeah. Lorea, you're up.
Was it one null that was hit repeatedly, and is the other
Yes.
unharmed?
The other one is
I would like to-
slightly damaged, but he's
Slightly
alright.
damaged. I want to cast Phantasmal Force again. I'm going to conjure the same tree, but I'm going to target the one that is least hit. And it needs to make an intelligence saving throw.
That is a 4. Here's a -2.
That does not save. So the tree swings, it believes it's real. It only works for the target, so the other null doesn't believe it. It swings, and it does 2d8 damage, which I'm going to roll now.
Okay.
It is 13 necrotic, I believe, damage. Psychic damage, sorry. And on its turn, it can take study as an action to see if it's real. Otherwise, it will stay believing it's real.
Okay.
And that ends my turn.
Bellini, you're up. You're muted.
Sorry, I'm gonna cast Shillelagh on my stick, and I'm gonna whack this knoll in front of me. Does a 14 hit?
Misses.
Okay, and then F is just gonna fly behind the knolls so that we get flanking bonuses, and take the dodge action because I can't command him to attack.
Okay, no worries.
Cool.
Cool.
That bonus action, Shillelagh.
You can do it. Do it.
All right. With my last round, I will toss one at the. I will bonus action steady aim, toss a dagger at the one that Lorrea didn't target with Phantasmal Force.
You also have flanking bonuses.
I don't.
Oh, you're
I'm
range attacking.
Range.
Gotcha.
But either way, that is a nat 20. So that is 32 points of psychic damage.
Ooh. You do hit him, and as he goes to fall, he clamps his jaw around Bellini. Bellini, you take 4 points of piercing damage, and it is dead as it sort of slides off and hits the water. The last one is going to run, just so everyone's aware.
Opportunity attacks. Let's go.
I don't die.
Bye.
Bye.
Why?
So yes, Bellini, opportunity attack.
Yeah. So does F. I rolled a 15, and F rolled a 17 plus 5.
Both hit.
Okay. I deal 11 points of damage, shout out to max damage, and F does 6 points of damage. So 17 points of damage.
Amazing. As you, how are you two killing him?
Yeah. F tosses a fireball up in the. He softball pitches me a little flame seed, and I whack it with my shillelagh. And I also crack it across the face with my shillelagh as I hit this flame seed into its face.
Amazing. As it falls, jaw burning off, part of its, like, it's mostly dislocated. It just lets out this horrendous howl that you can hear echoes across.
Can
It's
I
then-
hold up its hand and compare it to the one that I put out of the crocodile?
You may.
Do
as
they
you're-
match?
They do match, and as you're having a look, there is a soft chattering in the distance. We're going to go to a bio break, and we'll be
Yeah.
right back very soon, in about 5 minutes. But before we do, remember, because Combat already has, that if you are watching this stream, you can grab a mystery dice pack for free in our weekly giveaways by typing !ticket in the chat like this. Ticket. Woohoo. And be in a chance for winning a mystery dice bag. And don't forget, if you are just buying one for yourself or your family or friends, you can get 10% off with code WYRD, which is WYRD. How fun. But we'll see you very soon for a little bit more intrigue and probably null related shenanigans very soon.
Find me a place among my brethren, the pines, the bees, the frost. I cannot stay where nature's embrace is lost. Find me where Canoe makes his revelry. Where the horned one sleeps. Down by troubles and your worries. Set your soul on fire and dance among the trees. Oh, find me where Canunos makes his revelry. Ooh, where the horned one sleeps. Deep in woodlands running, no one but me. Wake up, breathed in ivy, bathed in the light of the moon. Through the canopy I see the light of the stars shining through. Down by shoreside singing, no one but me. Find me where Canunos makes his revelry. Where the horned one sleeps. Blacksmith, blacksmith, forge me a blade of the strongest steel, that when I strike my enemies, their wounds may never heal. Blacksmith, blacksmith of your blade, legends there shall rise, for the blade that you will forge for me will deliver us from the night, the night. Oh. Strike, turn, hammer and burn, the bellows teach and the fires burn. Iron, oil, temper and toil, the forge ain't hot if your blood don't boil. Blacksmith, blacksmith, forge me a blade to slay that evil heel, a sword that gleams like diamonds that can make the darkness kneel. Blacksmith, blacksmith, forge me a blade of the strongest steel, that when I strike my enemies, their wounds may never heal. Blacksmith, blacksmith of your blade, legends there shall rise, for the blade that you will forge for me will deliver us from the night, the night. Hear that anvil ring, echo song of the hammer swing. Shape, grind, polish and shine, the world ain't ready for a work so fine. Blacksmith, blacksmith, forge me a blade, for to purge the blight, which creeps upon this world we love to take from us the light. Blacksmith, blacksmith, forge me a blade of the strongest steel, that when I strike my enemies, their wounds may never heal. Blacksmith, blacksmith of your blade, legends there shall rise, for the blade that you will forge for me will deliver us from the night. Blacksmith, blacksmith, forge me a blade of the strongest steel, slave. Hey, 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 hey. Welcome to the Isle of Sin. Cursed stone, blessed orb, swing your pick till you hit the floor. Break your filthy back some more until you strike the mithril score. Hey, 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 hey. Welcome to the Isle of Sin. With your life, pay your dues. Work or die, it's yours to choose. You've got nothing left to lose. The checks await should you refuse. Hey, 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 hey. Welcome to the Isle of Sin. An empty look behind your eyes. No soul of a man left there to find. No hope within these iron sights. You're worth these minds till the day you die. Welcome to the Isle of Sin. Hey, 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 hey. Welcome to the Isle of Sin. Hey, welcome to the Isle of Sin. Her soul and mine, they're one and the same. Split one in twain, and we both feel the pain. The sins of one father unread in our veins. Through darkness and hunger, she remained, but her heart no more beats in tandem with mine. And I'm waiting for the wink and the witty one-liner, for her to say she got me and hit me with a smile. But the hole in my chest says I'll be waiting for a while. Be a boatman, your reaper. I'll be yours, but you can't keep her. Lay me down on a bed of raven's feathers. Dear sister, swear to me you'll stay close, never out of reach. Oh, do not go far from me until I'm gone. Mantle of death, black feathered crown, lift up this body asleep on the ground. A soul for a soul, let mine be laid down in this tomb I wish had never been found. You were a champion, I want her back. So I'll be your boatman, your reaper. I'll be yours, but you can't keep her. Lay me down on a bed of raven's feathers. Dear sister, swear to me you'll stay close, never out of reach. Oh, do not go far from me until I'm gone. There's no price too steep to pay to bring you back to life. Find me a place among my brethren, the pines, the bees, the frost. I cannot stay where nature's embrace is lost. Find me where Canoe makes his revelry. Where the horned one sleeps. Down by riverside resting. No one but me. Leave behind your troubles and your worries. Set your soul on fire and dance among the trees. Oh, find me where Canoe makes his revelry. Ooh, where the horned one sleeps. Deep in woodlands running. No one but me. Wake up, breathed in ivy, bathed in the light of the moon. Through the canopy I see the light of the stars shining through. Down by shoreside singing. No one but me. Find me where Canoe makes his revelry. Where the horned one sleeps. Blacksmith, blacksmith, forge me a blade of the strongest steel, that when I strike my enemies, their wounds may never heal. Blacksmith, blacksmith of your blade, legends there shall rise, for the blade that you will forge for me will deliver us from the night, the night. Oh. Strike, turn, hammer and burn. The bellows teach and the fires burn. Iron, oil, temper and toil. The forge ain't hot if your blood don't boil. Blacksmith, blacksmith, forge me a blade to slay that evil heel. A sword that gleams like diamonds that can make the darkness kneel. Blacksmith, blacksmith, forge me a blade of the strongest steel, that when I strike my enemies, their wounds may never heal. Blacksmith, blacksmith of your blade, legends there shall rise, for the blade that you will forge for me will deliver us from the night, the night. and shine. The world ain't ready for a wake so.
Okay, welcome back to the session. Last we left off, Bellini and Eth obliterated the gnolls that they could see in sight, and as one tried to run away, just decided to eviscerate him. Bellini, you're now standing, comparing the two arms to make sure that you can tell the difference and which one's which. But, like I said, as that's happening, you're hearing the soft chatter in the distance as rustling and water moving in response to the death cry that you just heard. What would we like to do?
Please hold on while I reorientate the map for a second. And
Did we roll initiative? Do we have an order, or is it free?
Not at the moment. You can't really see whatever companions might be.
Coming up.
Yeah.
So I don't see. So I don't see this gnoll over here.
No, that one's dead. There you go.
Oh, okay. It's very wet. Also, if me spinning makes you all sick, please let me know. I will stop.
There's a little bridge between me and the two in. I think that's Bellini.
Yeah, I'm up here. I'm this dude.
Yeah, I'd
This
like
is
to cast.
Eth.
I'd like to cast Mold Earth to bridge the gap. I can affect 2 tiles and raise them at ground level and make them non-difficult terrain. Which might be a big ask. Look at
There
that.
you go.
Not that big an ask apparently. Just to increase our agility a little bit.
Can I have control of F and everyone else?
Yes,
That way
you may.
I can move the party and you can move the NPCs. Also, for those of you watching along at home, sorry about that delay. We had some technical difficulties with our map software and getting everyone in today. But that technical difficulty is sponsored by shopping locally. Support your local businesses. I went on a wonderful hike this morning, and then I got a bagel from the bagel shop by the park, and then I stopped and got a matcha latte from the matcha house where they grind the matcha in-house.
Matcha latte.
And then while we were on break, I ate some imitation crab sticks from the local Korean market. That's like 2 towns over, and they were yummy, and that was my snack. So if any of our local businesses want to sponsor the stream, shout out to that, and also shout out to our actual sponsor, the dice company that we work with.
Which
Mystery
is
Dice Goblin.
Dice Goblin, right?
Mystery Dice Goblins. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, now we have real sponsorship, Lou. How are you
Well,
gonna
it's not
do
really
that?
sponsorship. It's more collaboration. Partners.
Collaboration.
Woo! We love them. They're great.
Yeah, so just
And
if
use
you
code
haven't
WYRD,
already,
W-Y-R-D, at checkout.
Yes.
and
get 10% off.
use !ticket to enter the mystery dice pack giveaway.
You guys are getting
Chat,
so
if you
good at
haven't
that.
already.
Yeah, I think we've got
I-
2 people currently, which is good.
I was busy
Started
yesterday.
from,
I couldn't
one
watch
lap?
the stream.
Well, that's
Gosh damn.
your own fault then, isn't it?
Yeah, I can't.
D&D
enter
should
to
be more
win.
important than life. Anyway,
I-
I was working, so
Yeah, DnD does not pay my bills.
Faithful.
not yet.
Winning
Anyway,
work over winning dice.
what would we all like to do?
I want to look for the sound of the other gnolls.
It is coming from the east, as far as you can tell, which for you guys is straight ahead from where your minis are facing.
Great. I'm gonna walk that way.
Okay.
I'm going to
And-
growl really loud.
I will bring your party with you.
And F is gonna move. Can I select multiple tokens at once?
Yeah, you just click and drag. And you go, woo. Oh, I don't want that one. As we're moving, can whomever would do it make a perception check, please?
Yeah.
I have a +4 to perception if
I have a +5, I think. Yeah, I have a +5.
I'll let you go.
Wisdom boys.
Leany.
I got a 17 total.
Ooh, very nice. The closer you're getting to the sound, the more you hear. So, one, and then another, and then a third, and then there's a row, like a low, louder, growling, grumbling sound that seems to accompany it. Ahead of you, you can see a large cluster of figures. Some of these are slightly more armored with torn, tattered leather clothing, carrying wide spears, and behind them a massive, hulking piece of fur and muscle.
Alright.
They have all of their weapons drawn and facing you, and seeing and knowing that their companion has just died, are holding off just for a moment. The larger one has slightly flayed marks in its fur, almost like it's been carved off, and small symbols have been carved into the flesh, leaving rotten scars lining its body.
I see them in that formation with their big guy in the back.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to position myself in the back and do transform into form of dread. So I grow into a similar size, I think I'm slightly smaller, goat demon to sort of mimic their formation and to assert dominance, basically, is what I'm trying to do here.
Okay.
To try and get them to fully back off. They don't need to roll anything. I've misread it a couple of times. It's only when I hit them that they need to roll things. For now,
Okay.
it's just a scary goat demon that's looking at them.
Sure.
With the scary goat demon that's behind me, can I try and intimidate them?
Yes, tell me how you're going to intimidate them.
I'm going to stomp and growl as loud as I can and just look menacing.
Okay, yeah. roll
Who's
for
gonna
intimidation.
climb this tree and hide up in that tree?
Yeah.
Let's see, what is my 11.
As you go to like roar and throw that out, the larger of all of them seems to see it before you do, and he opens his mouth, and spittle and you assume maybe blood just flies out, showering all of their backs as a roar much louder than your own echoes across. I rolled a 20.
Oh.
Fuck yeah.
So scary.
Who's scary?
Spooky.
But yes, can everybody roll initiative, please?
Yep.
Yeah.
1
Let's get a different fighting sound.
I rolled a 13. Ku rolled a 10 plus whatever.
I rolled
His
a fucking
bonuses.
3 again. I rolled a 4 in total. I am rolling so shit.
Bum, 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 bum. Restart. Okay, Gio, what was yours?
20.
20. Bellini?
I rolled a 13, and Ku rolled a 10 plus whatever his bonus is.
4. Larea? Gio, you're up first.
Hey. I am going to run over and just take my maul and hit the first person or the closest one that I can get to.
Sure, go for it.
Is this difficult terrain still or not?
It is. So you would run. How far can you move?
30 feet.
1, 2, 3,
I also have to roll my feet.
4. I'll put you there.
Sick.
That is where you're at the moment.
Okay, so I'm definitely not close enough to hit.
No, you can dash if you want to, or you can just
pull out
hold
your
an
bow.
action, or draw your bow.
Ooh, yeah, I'll draw out my bow and see if I have any luck with that for once.
Okay.
Does an 11 hit?
It does not.
Okay. Nope. That ends my turn.
Sorry, I was just coloring the bases so I know who's who.
No, you're good.
Okay, how far can I move? Also not far. I'm gonna take these all as... That's not who I wanted. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So them here. Oh, he doesn't go yet. Bum ba dum ba dum. Whose turn? With steady aim.
Who's up in that tree?
Yeah. That is... $13. Nice.
Sick.
As you see, he throws some of those psychic blades at the first knoll he can see. Bellini, you're up.
I'm gonna move 15 feet, so 1, 2, 15. And then I'm gonna cast Burning Hands, and
Okay.
I'm gonna hit the 3 knolls that are in front of me because they're all in a code. And
Well,
they
2
need
of
to
them are,
make-
and one of them has a well that's in front of your face.
It's a 15-foot cone, so they must make a dexterity saving throw. I can see the knoll through the well. It has partial cover. But I'm setting it on fire.
19.
They pass the dexterity saving throw. That's fine. They take half on a successful saving throw. So they take they take 5 points of fire damage each.
Okay. Anything else?
Yeah, and then I'm gonna tell F to fly closer and throw fire at one of the knolls, at the big knoll. Because F can fly 30 feet and is not impeded by difficult terrain. So F flies over here and throws a fireball at the big one. It says, fuck you.
Okay.
Does a 20 hit?
It does.
Cool. The big knoll takes 7 points of fire damage while F flips him the double bird.
Awesome. Anything else on your turn?
No, that's my turn. That's an action and a bonus action and movement.
Okay, so this is the one that's gonna go for him. He's gonna go for you. 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 He has a well in the
Zoom
way.
in.
He's gonna go around it. Eh. Okay. Get in there. There. Nice. Okay. I'm just gonna roll them as quickly as I can. There are 3 currently around Bellini and 3 currently around Geo, who has just fallen off my radar. There he is. They all miss Geo. Awkward.
Surprisingly.
19 on Bellini.
That hits. That's my AC.
14 and another
Misses.
14.
Misses.
So you only take 6 points of damage,
Oh, let's go.
believe it or not.
Yeah, let's go.
Blum, 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 blum. And then it's Mr. Big Boy. He
Mhm.
can only move 30 feet, so he's going to dash. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Lorea, it is your turn. And I
Right.
believe you are.
I don't have any pack slots left over, so I will target the big creature with
Mhm.
Eldritch Blast.
Ooh, okay.
Simply, very
So
simple.
let's give you line
Do you
of
want
sight.
to?
Nice.
Do you want to move at all or no?
I'd like to move back as far as possible, which is 15 feet with this difficult terrain. And I will hit him with a 19. Does that hit the big one?
19 does hit, yes.
All right. He needs to make a wisdom saving throw for my form of dread to see if he's frightened.
16.
That saves. But he will still get damage from my Eldritch Blast. 7 force damage.
Nice.
And that ends my turn.
Geo, 'tis your turn. You have 3 crowding you at the moment.
Okay, the one to my most right, I'm going to hit with my maul.
You're right or my right?
You're right.
Okay.
And I miss.
Oh dear. Anything else?
I will use Giant Smite and get a little bit bigger.
I knew that was coming. Right.
And that ends my turn.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's the one next to Bellini. This one. Oh no, because he goes in there. Yeah. It's Ku's turn. So he's gonna steady aim. That is a hit. And so he does 14 damage again. He's going to target the same knoll he did before, and you watch it, its eye just split open and burst as it hits the deck. I'm just going to roll d6. Choose which one it is. This one.
Is it one of the nose in me or one of the ones that nose in front of you?
In front of Geo, unfortunately.
Not bad. Not good.
Bellini, you're up.
Cool. Still too far away. Okay, that's fine. I am going to cast Flaming Sphere. And I drop it directly behind this cluster of gnolls, directly in front of me. Any creature that ends its turn within 5 feet of the sphere must take a dexterity saving throw or takes 2d6 fire damage on a fail. And as I spawn it, I can move the sphere into to make this like difficult terrain and move it into these guys, so they need to make dexterity saving throws. So yeah. I'm gonna ram it into the knolls in front of me, and they need to make dex saves.
Nice.
It is not put out by water. I
No, that's
checked.
not what I'm checking for.
But yeah.
Any creature that ends its turn within 5 feet of the sphere must make a dexterity saving throw. As a bonus action, you can move the sphere.
Yeah.
Cool. Up to 30 feet. If you ram the sphere into that creature, you must make a saving throw against the sphere's damage. So
It needs to make a dex save.
yeah. What a weird choice against its damage. How strange. 17.
That makes the dex save, so it takes half damage. It takes 4 points of fire damage
Cool.
as the sphere hits into it, and it ends. So it's next to those 3 knolls in front of me. And then F is just gonna fly a little bit closer to the big dude and take the dodge action. Because I can't command it to attack,
Yeah.
but he will.
No, that's
fly
fine.
forward.
What was the damage again for me?
8 total, so it takes 4 because it's saved.
That will be Null B. That's his new name.
And then I want F to fly a little. F. What is it? Control, right? Left click to Control. Left click to. Need you to fly a little lower so you're in the face of the big knoll.
The one next to Bellini does something a little bit strange. It
Does it?
brushes past you
Oh.
and goes straight for Lorea.
Do I get an attack of opportunity?
Heyo.
You do not.
Oh.
As it uses sudden rush, gaining 60 feet of movement and just not bipedally, all 4 legs just running across the ground. It's going to try and bite you twice. The first one is a 14,
Seriously? Doesn't hit.
and the second one is a 19.
That does hit, yeah.
It is only 4 damage.
Alright, I'll take it. Luckily, I
Uh,
rolled a 10 on my d10 for my temporary hit points.
so we got 2 we're gonna go for. Ooh, he can move through him. Nice. God, you guys are so big. Get out of here.
No.
No.
God damn it.
How did this one get behind me? What?
Because you only take up this square here. This one.
Uh,
I had to double check. This one.
maybe I just, if I wasn't concentrating on Flaming Sphere, I would just cast a large on myself.
Yeah. So those 2 are gonna go for Blaney and 2 are gonna go for Geo, just to keep it fair.
Okay.
That one is with the advantage. That is natural 20 on Bellini.
No, it's not. I burn a luck point. Get fucked. No crits on Bellini allowed.
That is a 19.
That hits. That hits, but it's not a crit. Get fucked.
I'll take it. I don't care.
That's fine.
So you take 7 damage from that one. The other one's going to go for you. That is a 24.
That hits.
That is 6 points on you.
Okay.
The other two, one's a natural 20, and the other one is a 19 for Geo.
They both hit.
I passed my concentration check. I rolled an at 20. Flaming Sphere still exists.
13, 15 for the first one, for the crit.
Okay.
And 6 for the second one. As he jabs at you with this, they're all jabbing at you with their spears, almost creating this little pokey circle of
Stop poking me with
growling
those
spit.
toothpicks.
Yeah.
The two next to the Flaming Sphere at the end of the turn need to make a dexterity saving throw.
They do. That's a very good point. That is a 17.
That passes, but they take half damage.
Okay.
They take 4 points of fire damage.
Cool. Very nicely done as you watch the back singe off as they bumped by this flaming sphere. Ooh, big boy.
I mean, F is right there. He could attempt to hit F.
He could, in fact, he probably would because he's not very intelligent.
Yeah.
There we go. That's in melee. He is going to try and bone whip poor tiny F.
That's fine.
That is a 19.
With disadvantage, F took the dodge action
Oh, good point.
because I couldn't command him.
16.
That I believe hits. Yeah, that hits.
So that's 2d4. Blip, 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 blip. 2d4 plus 3 is 7. I'm very bad at maths. 7 points of slashing damage against poor F, and then he's going to throw a bone javelin at Geo's head, which is a 11.
Oh, that misses.
It's a very big head. It's too far up. I don't know. You're about the same size, actually. Lorea.
He needs to make a dexterity saving throw. He ended his turn next to the flaming sphere.
He did. Natural 20.
Damn it. He still takes that's a 9, rounded down, 4 points of fire damage.
Cool. Lorea,
He gets
it is now your
singed.
turn.
Right. I will cast what's it called? Chill Touch on the knoll next to me.
Mm-hmm.
18 to hit.
18 hits, yes.
Alright, it needs to make a wisdom saving throw to see if it's frightened of me.
10.
10. That doesn't save. He is frightened. He does only get 1 force damage. Sorry, necrotic damage. And that ends my turn. I don't want to take an opportunity attack.
Cool. And he's
So I
frightened
stay
of you,
put.
right?
And he's frightened of me, yes.
How does he... Do I roll for that? Or is it until line of sight? Or...
Let me check just to be sure. I'm assuming...
Frightened condition is...
Well, it's dependent on what her ability is.
Of you until the end of your next turn.
There
So
you go.
my next turn, he loses it.
Cool. No worries. Lorea has been... Geo, you're up.
Okay. Now the big one's right there, and the other two, right?
Yes.
Okay.
This is a
I'm-
better angle, Geo, if that shows you.
Oh, yeah, it does. I will hit the one on Geo's right, or attempt to.
So it's this one.
Yeah. Does a 13 hit?
13 misses.
Okay. I'm a little pissed off, so I'm going to action surge.
Yeah, let's go!
And swing again. Does a 15 hit?
A 15 hits.
Okay. And he takes 9 plus 12 total damage.
Ooh, rough. Very nice. Anything else?
No, that ends my turn.
Cool. He is looking teetering on the edge, I think would be the best way of putting it.
He better. Since I can't hit today.
Ku is going to steady aim. Fuck you, Ku. He
Can you hit
missed.
the one behind me, please?
He missed.
God damn it.
He rolled a 1 and a 2.
Yeah.
Bellini, it's your turn.
Cool. I am gonna cast Ice Knife. Oh, Geo moved.
Yeah, that's just me, because he was annoying me.
I'm gonna cast Ice Knife at the light knoll in front of me.
Okay.
And that way the big guy and the other dude, if it hits, have to make dexterity saving throws. I'm just going for AoE spells right now.
Fair enough.
That's a 15 plus 5, 20.
Hits.
Cool. So the one in front of me takes 1d10. That's not a 10. This is a 10. It takes 8 points of piercing damage, and then every creature within 5 feet of it needs to make a dexterity saving throw, or take 2d6 cold damage.
Does it say every creature? Would that not also include you?
Each creature within 5 feet must succeed on a dexterity saving throw, or take.
Okay, so that includes yourself.
That's fine.
Just so you're aware.
Yeah, that's fine.
At 5 feet.
I know what I did.
Am I within 5 feet?
No.
Okay.
So it's this one.
And the big dude, right? Or no?
No, he's
Is the
10
big dude too
feet.
far?
Because your sphere's
okay.
in the way.
Gotcha.
And F.
F
He stopped
is
for
15
F.
feet in the air. Oh, okay.
Yeah, he stopped for F.
Cool. I passed my dexterity saving throw, so
He also... What the fuck? These dice
did
are
he roll?
amazing. He also passed.
God damn it, that's fine. And then F is gonna attack the big dude.
Cool. Yeah, go for it. He's got plenty of HP.
F rolled a dirty 20.
Fuck.
Nice.
I should not say things like that.
Big guy takes 4 fire damage to the face.
4. Nice.
Right? Did I do that math right? Oh, I don't want to wild shape. I want to summon wildfire spirit. Oh, I'm sorry. That's 6 fire damage. Because he rolled 4 on his dice. So, yeah, 6 fire damage.
Awesome
Yeah, it's my proficiency
sauce.
bonus.
Okay.
And then just gets in his
2
face and flips him the double bird.
2 are gonna go for Geo. That's amazing. One is a 19 plus 4. Yep.
That hits.
So 23. The other one is a natural 1.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say one tries to like bite you and grabs onto your arm. You take 6 points of piercing damage. The other one, as you sort of swing wildly, accidentally stabs his friend. And he's also going to take 6 points of piercing damage. And now has a spear just jutting out of him, and he growls in pain. These two are going to bonk Bellini. That is 20 and a 19.
Both hit.
So for the first one, it is 1d8. 12 piercing damage.
Okay.
And the second one is only 3.
Okay.
Wow, that
I'm
was
still up.
getting whiplash. Fucking hell. Big boy is gonna go for F with his bone whip again. That is
That's fine. We can roll dexterity saves at the end of the boy's turn.
Oh yeah, 19
That hits F.
for 10 points of slashing damage, and he's going to throw a javelin at Bellini. It's a 21.
Roll it again.
Okay. That is a 19.
That hits my shot. Yeah.
Nice. 6 points of piercing damage.
I'm still up.
Cool. Have you got less than half your hit points?
Yeah, I have 2. I have 2 hit points. Also, big dude and 2 of the gnolls need to make dexterity saving throws.
Okay. F takes 10 points of bludgeoning damage. As that massive gnoll, seeing your blood, begins to salivate and just whips a hand into F's body. And then dex saves. 2 small ones fail,
disappears.
big one passes.
Cool. The 2 small ones take 9 total fire damage, and the big one takes 4.
Okay. 2 of them, these 2, fall dead. And as they're going, they sort of scrabble at your feet. They are going to rampage. You take 12 points of piercing damage.
Yeah, I go down. And my flaming sphere disappears.
Cool. As you're watching the others, as you're watching that happen, every time one of the gnolls dies and they enter a rampage, usually you guys would assume that would happen out of a bloodthirst once they've killed a creature. This is happening when they're going down, and you can see the glowing marks on the large gnoll sort of pulse as he's once more barking orders at all of them. Larea.
Am I still next to the one that attacked me in melee range?
Yeah, I mean, he's frightened. He can't move towards you.
Yeah. Right. I will cast Chill Touch again on him.
Okay.
That is a 14 to hit.
14 hits? Yeah.
It does. Alright, he needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
He is not wise. I told a lie. 13.
That just saves.
Oh.
He gets 9 force damage. Sorry, necrotic. I keep forgetting that it's not Eldritch Blast. He gets 9 necrotic damage, but he is no longer frightened of me.
Alrighty
And
then.
that ends my turn.
Geo.
Okay. The one that I didn't almost kill, I am going to try and whack with my maul.
Whack. Fuck. Sorry. Go for it.
17.
Let me have a look. Hits. I don't know what I had to look, actually. That's very silly.
And then that is 11 plus 15 total damage.
Awesome. Yeah, you cave part of his skull in. He's barely blinking as the blood streaks down. Anything else?
I spit at him.
Just spit in his other eye. He's like, ah!
Yeah.
I mean, Ku's not going to steady aim. He's going to throw one. Yep. In an almost deft dispatch, he's going to throw 2 daggers at the same time, and both of them hit the 2 gnolls in front of Geo, who collapse immediately. Once more, you see that arcane runes pulsing along the larger gnoll. Those 2, as they're going to die, are going to try and take Geo with them. 25. 23, sorry.
Yeah, it
Again,
is.
I can't count.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That does hit though.
So that's 6 points of piercing for the first one, and
I am down.
Ooh. Well, I mean, they started so 16, which obviously hits you, and only 2, so that's 1 automatic death save.
Wait, the 16 doesn't hit though. Armor
Oh,
class
does it
is
not?
17.
There you go. Well,
No.
thank God for that. Woo! Those 2 are dead. The large boy is here. He's just gonna go. You're prone. Well, you're dying as well. That's gone. I mean, the only person he can see who's still alive is Larea. Because he still hasn't spotted Ku.
Yep.
Yeah, he's just gonna go for you. So 1,
Go for it.
2, 3, 4, no 3. Yeah. Okay. Bellini, do you want to roll your own, or do you want me to roll for you?
I'll roll my own.
Okay.
Where do you want me to DM you? Your account or Wyrdcast?
Either one. I've got both open at the moment.
Okay. Well, you saw what I rolled. I DM'd you.
Right, yes, I can see it on there. Nice. Blah, blah, blah. Ku is still up here.
Yep.
I'm gonna roll an acrobatics check. Of course. He is
He
going
also spider
to...
climb, so he can just walk down the wall.
Yeah, but this is much cooler. He's going to somersault and midair land next to you. He's going to give you one of his potions of healing.
Cool.
So you take 8 points of healing as he shoves it in your mouth. He doesn't even pour it. He shoves the bottle and then just clocks you around the jaw to make sure that it smashes. And it's just flooding.
Cool. Cool.
As you gasp away.
Yeah.
Bum, 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 bum. Larea, go for it.
Yes. I am still in range of that one fucking knoll, and I need to get out of there. There are two. Well, one friend is down now. I'm going to let out a frustrated roar, and I will use Celestial Revelation.
Ooh, yes. Tell me what it looks like.
Well, if I were still in Larea form, I would grow a set of wings, but I am a goat demon. So these wings are non-functional, even in humanoid form. For Flare, I will say they are like seraphim wings. So because I'm in the scary form, there will be the double set of wings that go up and down, tattered black wings, and there is an aura of necrosis around me. A lot of green mist surrounding me. Everyone who is not an ally within... let me check if it's just... If it's within 10 feet of me that can see me, need to make a charisma saving throw.
Okay, so just
I
be
don't know.
this one.
Just be that one.
That is charisma. Yeah, -1. 10.
That does not save.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my bonus action, and for my action, okay, it's not actually affected. I will cast Toll the Dead on the one next to me. I was going to see if it was affected by me being in range, but no. It needs to roll a wisdom saving throw.
6. No, wait.
6, that does
5.
that
It's
doesn't
important.
save. Weirdly, 5 saves. No, but
Oh, whoa! Crazy.
whoa. It will get. I need to do some math here. 11 points of necrotic damage, and it will be frightened of me, but it was already frightened. It's
Okay.
just super scared.
What does
now.
that look like? Is your Toll the Dead again?
It is my Toll the Dead again, but in a different form. So, I raise my monstrous hand towards that creature, and since it's in melee range, I'll just put it on his head. You see my goat eyes glow a deep red, and only in its head it hears that ominous bell, and it reverberates out until the rest can hear it, and he just sort of, however it impacts him is only psychic. Oh, I said, yes, no, sorry, it is necrotic, sorry. So
Roll me a
spell effects.
d4, please.
Yes.
And tell me if it's odd or even.
It is odd.
You put that monstrous hand forwards, and you cast the spell, and everyone, you hear that tolling bell happen. And at first, there's like a fuck, and then you feel a searing heat in your palm, and this like high-pitched whining noise. The gnoll's head explodes in a shower of blood and gore. The hand that you placed is the one with the necklace, and as you feel it grow hotter and hotter with that whining pitch, you regain 4 hit points. As you see some of that
Full
blood
HP again.
soaks into your skin, and you're not sure if that's hygienic or not, but you feel it rush all the way up your arm in like a string of power. He is dead.
Right. He is dead. I will move forward to be more in range of the rest of my companions. Let me check if people need to make a save, because I've not used Celestial Revelation all that much yet. I think it's only at the start of my turn. Nope. Anyone within 10 feet at any point must make a charisma saving throw.
Is he very charismatic? I wouldn't have thought so. 6.
6, that does not save.
Shit.
That ends my turn. If I've been forward as much as I can, then that's all I have to do. All I can do.
You move up next to the big gnoll, essentially.
Right.
Unless you, I mean, we can have you like skirt around him so you're next to us and stay in his foot range if you want to be standing next to the downed Geo or the recently revived me.
So my spare to dying is 15 feet range, so my goal is to get within 15 feet. That could be this turn or another, so it really doesn't
you
matter.
You have enough movement. You can get
No,
here.
she doesn't.
It's no.
difficult
yeah,
terrain.
Get, so 1, 2.
3
Yeah,
would be
you'd end-
somewhere around there, yeah.
I'll just stay on the other side for
No,
now.
you're next
because
to
you
Geo.
might have
You're
some
good.
flanking
Well, Geo
possibilities.
isn't big anymore, so he would be...
Oh yeah.
Who?
But you would be.
Yeah, no, you are. I thought he was on the other tile, but he's not, so... Yeah,
No,
you're
good.
in range.
Perfect. I don't have any actions for my turn now, but I just want to make sure that that's what I'm going to do next turn. If he's not already healed. But that ends my turn now, definitively.
Geo, would you like to roll, or do you want to roll for me? I mean... Wait, no, that's both the same thing. Or do you want me to roll for you?
You can roll for me, so if Geo dies, it's your fault.
Yeah.
I did that last time.
Okay.
Bleed his face in my own hands.
Ku. Is there anything Ku can actually do?
He can.
He can try and
attack.
stabilize him, I
Yeah,
guess.
you can also attack the big dude.
He can do that. I'm going to do that instead. He's going to
have
move
him bite
back
the big dude.
10 feet. That is a hit, and he does psychic blades. Kapow! 9.
9.
Bellini, you're up.
Cool. As an action, I'm gonna drink a regular potion of healing and heal
Cool.
10 hit points.
Yes.
Because that will bring me to supposedly living through a hit from this big dude. And as a bonus action, I'm gonna healing word Geo for 7 points of healing.
Awesome.
And he's gonna stand up and not be knocked down anymore.
Well, he's
And then
still
I'm gonna move.
prone at the moment.
Oh yeah, sorry.
That's all right.
And then I'm gonna walk over and get behind the knoll, so we have flanking.
Okay. I'm going to roll a d4 as for which
Cool.
person this guy's going to go for. Geo, as your eyes open, you just open to the sight of this knoll and he's just punching you back in the face. You take 6 points of damage.
Oh, it's still up.
He is going to whip Larea. That's a natural 1. And he sort of hits himself in the face with a whip, and he's like, ah!
I mean, that's
It's your
fair.
turn.
It is a whip.
Whose turn? Sorry?
Your turn, Larea.
Right. I will spare the dying Geo.
I'm not dying anymore, though.
Oh,
He has
shit,
1 hit point.
sorry.
Yeah.
I do not do that. I will. I'm gonna toll the dead the big guy. That's what I'm gonna do. He must make a. Jeez, he must make a lot of wisdom saving throw.
5.
5. That misses. He'll get a d12 necrotic damage. I rolled really badly. It's a 1, but I get 2 free necrotic damage from my Celestial Revelation. So 3. He needs to make a wisdom save again to see if he's frightened of me.
7.
That fails. And I was going to say he also needs to make a charisma saving throw to see if he's frightened. But, I mean, he's already frightened.
6.
So let's skip that one.
This is so shit.
Very fucking scared. He's really scared. That ends my turn. I don't have anything useful to do anymore. I will get as close to the group as possible. I want to get as many as I can within my 10 feet range to scare everybody. That's a goal.
Only the
Be
big
a
dudes
human
left.
repellent.
Yeah,
or
there's
an
only one left.
asthma repellent, actually.
Only the big dudes left. So you're now You're just giving us flanking.
Thanks.
Geo,
Really-
you're up.
Okay. Am I actually up or am I still prone?
Well, you're prone at the moment, but you can get up. It uses half your movement.
Okay. I get up and I chug a potion of healing.
Cool. Are you using it as your bonus action or your action?
My action.
Okay. So take the full 10 HP.
I am now at 11.
Nice.
And then
Okay. Anything else?
bonus action, I invoke my frost rune.
Ooh, how exciting.
Ooh. I don't know what that does. I don't know if you've done that before.
I haven't. So basically I just increase my sturdiness for 10 minutes.
Mhm.
So I gain a +2 to all ability checks and saving throws that use strength or constitution.
Cool. I will say, as you're doing that, describe to me how Ku kills this creature as his blades pass through your frosty aura. I'm going to say they materialize and somewhat you can see them and you're giving them a boost. But yeah.
I just so happened to see like them both pass like right underneath my arms. So I just grab on and then like use my strength to carry them the rest of the way.
Amazing.
And pick up the giant knoll and then just shred his back. So he
I
splits
love
into
that.
3.
Ooh, you just see all the different parts, and then one's still standing for a little bit, and it just slowly sinks into the mud. That is very gross. And a hush falls across the swampland. As far as you guys can tell, There is nothing else around. No birds, a couple of insects. That's the best you can tell. Who is gesturing? Sorry,
I didn't know
on.
that was a thing.
It's new, apparently, yeah.
I can now ping the map.
Yeah.
I'd like to see who is hurt the most, and I have a healing hands. I'm sure I'm not as good a healer as Bellini, but I would like to help. It is...
Geo's the hurtest.
I guess as much. It's 2d4 you can roll to regain your hit points.
I got 4 more hit points.
Hey!
Can I loot the bodies? Do they have anything on them?
Make me an investigation, as you're going to rifle through their clothing.
Can Geo help me?
Somewhat.
Or can I help Geo? So we get a good roll?
If you want
I got a
to
natural
spend some
20.
time going through it, then sure.
Yeah. What Geo got? I think it was a dirty 20.
Yeah, it was.
What do we find?
It looks like you find a journal, but it's wet and soggy and gross. You know that maybe if Koo spent enough time with it, he might be able to glean some information. On one of the smaller knolls, the one that you saw investigating at first, you find an amber-touched coin. It's this very simple-looking coin. It's stamped with the symbol of the Trinity and what's known as the Pantheon triangle underneath. That is a symbol that denotes all of the lesser gods just in its entirety. You know that it's often used for prayer and probably was stolen off the priest who have died in the church.
So it's an amber touch coin, symbol of Trinity. On the other side, it's the Pantheon of the Pantheon triangle, right? You said.
Yep, the Pantheon triangle. What else? Because that was a pretty good roll. You find a loose scroll on the large knoll with the carved symbols on it.
Mm-hmm.
It's written in Abyssal.
I'm pretty sure Geo can read that. No.
Infernal
Sure,
or
it's not bad.
Primordial.
I can read Primordial and Orc and Druidic.
As well as a journal that's written in Dwarvish.
Okay.
Can't read that either.
Can Koo read Dwarvish or
That's a good question.
Abyssal?
He can speak Common, Elvish, Primordial, Sylvan, and Thieves' Cant. So no.
How did we all pick Primordial?
I would just like to say that I wrote down what languages these were before looking at anyone's character sheet. All right, if you can read it, you can read it. If you can't read it, you can't read it. Like
I just
Can't read.
Yeah,
amongst the original trio, amongst like Koo, Geo, and Bellini, how we all did not intentionally pick Primordial. Like
you can all
converse
speak
about
it.
this.
It's mad.
We can all speak Primordial, so if you ever need a secret language,
We just
What I find funny is the Friday campaign is very elemental based. A lot of those themes because it's called the Stormcaller. Only one or two of them, I think, speak Primordial, and then with you guys, all of you speak Primordial, and I was like, "Wow,
except
that is."
Lorea. We gotta teach Lorea Primordial so that she can, so that we when we speak.
You can spend
telepathically-
downtime learning a language. It does take like 10 weeks, but you can do it.
Yeah.
I mean, we do have a lot of. Can we spend some travel time teaching Lorea Primordial?
Who would you learn it? Oh, I mean, yeah, I suppose so. Yeah.
Yeah, because all 3 of us can teach her.
Yeah.
I would say we'll work on that. Yeah. Yeah,
Cool.
definitely. That is something we can work on.
Let's go.
You can tell that the Dwarvish journal is a merchant's ledger, and it has notes, mostly of someone's notes of recent occurrings, like a diary-esque.
All right, we'll
You find
it.
a bunch of markings around all of the bodies and some of the trees of various Knoll territory claims. They're pretty fresh. As well as an inscription on a coin that you don't recognize, but you do recognize the emblem of Obscurum, which is a crescent moon with 2 silver daggers. So at least someone has been to the city and come back. Whether or not that was one of the villagers or the Knolls, very unlikely because they're not civilized. But yeah.
Can I cut their ears off and make potions of bloodthirst or whatever, as if this was Baldur's Gate 3?
Are you proficient with alchemy?
I'm proficient with herbalism.
Then no.
For those of you that don't know, Lincoln and I streamed like 40 hours of Baldur's Gate, repeating the same missions. We died to the
Yeah.
Knolls in the beginning of Baldur's Gate twice.
Yeah, the intro
Yeah.
so many times.
So
Do you know I've still gone back and replayed that on a run about 25 million times.
yeah, because you decided my intro to Baldur's Gate would be honor mode while you dirge.
Yeah, I could probably recite it off by heart at this point. But
Yeah.
I'm back playing The Witcher 3. Anyway, that is where we're going to end today, and we'll pick up with you guys figuring out how you're going to rest up and tend wounds and maybe look for a way back to the road that you were planning on going on. The lingering sense of feeling is pretty tense for all of you. You're not sure if you've taken the right road or not, for one, apart from Bellini's somewhat good copy of the map. And Labrea, you're surprisingly more invigorated the longer that this amulet stays attached to you.
Okay.
Which is a bit of a flip from when it had been,
What's been so far?
when it had been, absorbing your own life force.
Yeah.
But yes, we will pick up next week, and I will be announcing the winner of the giveaway in our Discord and probably on Twitter and socials and things like that. We're still working
we're
out.
not sure we're off next week.
We are off next
Vaughn
week.
and Bloom.
Yeah.
Yes, that is true.
Yep.
I don't think I'm also here on the 15th either, so we're taking a 2-week break. That's what it is.
Cool.
Woohoo! But yes, I will be announcing the winners of the giveaways, but you can still drop by on Fridays to grab it, or if we're doing some mini painting sessions or things like that, we still might be live. You can still grab them regardless of if the campaign is running or not. So I'll probably be painting my mini next week. So if people want to come in, join in, they absolutely can. Till then, remember to love your friends. That's my message of today. Apart from these three, they can go fuck themselves. Till the next time, say goodbye, guys.
Fuck you.
Bye.
Bye.
Fuck you, bye.
Eternity's a gift, they say, to never cross the veil. This life I try to savor, and I try to no avail. Curse that mortal brevity which has rent you from my arms. Curse this cold eternity without you to keep strength. No.